3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Wow, you both were very, very late.
On time.
We're,
Very on time.
Absolutely
some
on
coffee.
time. You were early or something. I don't know how it works, but that Keith and I
you were early.
perfect.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
It's just the lag because I do
Right.
it in time every time. So
Me too.
Well, you know who isn't late or early is the person listening. Welcome, listener, to Screen Share and Chill. My name is Kelly.
Nope. Welcome to Scream Share and Thrill.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It is the Halloween spooky season, and I got into old habits. It's officially spooky time, so make sure you don't let anybody into your house, close your doors, all that stuff. Yes, be more paranoid, America. That's what we need. We need people to be more paranoid, more on edge, more isolated from each other. That will help our society.
It's that time of year where you struggle for 4 weeks to say Scream Share and Thrill, and then for the rest of the year say nothing but Scream Share. And
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Time-honored tradition.
Yes, I will remember this in time for our Christmas specials. And I will call every Christmas special Scream, Share, and Thrill or whatever. But anyways, today we are going to go down the list. For Scream, Share, and Chill, we are going to go down the list, and each of us are going to pick
Thrill.
a movie.
Scream Share and Thrill.
Thrill? I thought... no, I could have swore it was Scream, Share, and Chill. Because I wanted it to be Thrill, and you said it was too much because then it was twice in the title.
No.
Oh, no, I got to
doesn't
go
matter.
back and look.
Go ahead. Let's confirm it right here.
Let's do it live. Now this is quality audio content. 3 people waiting for one of the 3 to look something up. That's it's riveting. We need a soundtrack going on behind the scenes.
Hopefully someone is
Treat it like a John Grisham.
looking that up. That would be great.
I'm working on it, but keep going.
No, the whole thing's coming to a yep, here we go. Just look at the pins. It's definitely Scream Share and Thrill. I win. You owe me a Coke.
Have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. Good.
Well, I will gladly give you a Coke. Come on up, buddy. I will go get one today.
No.
This offer is only good until
Come
midnight
visit
tonight.
us. Mwahaha.
Overnight me a Coke.
I just did. I shot it out my window. Didn't you get it yet?
Oh, yep, there it is. Uh-huh. I hit the wall.
So for our Halloween special, I'm not even saying the name anymore. For our Halloween special, we are starting with Keith's choice. And Keith, what did you pick and why?
Well, in honor of the spirit of the Years of Series and to one of our previous, I believe, masterpiece tier movies, we are watching the David Gordon Green directed sequel trilogy to Halloween that starts with Halloween 2018. A movie that ignores all the other sequels in the franchise and treats only the first movie as canon and is a direct sequel to that. A legacy sequel is I think what the adopted term that has come, like Star Wars The Force Awakens.
You got to tip your hat to a studio or a creator that is going to do a redo of the sequels. Basically, like, imagine if Star Wars did this and somebody came out with the new Empire Strikes Back, where we're just starting over. You know what you thought of as Empire Strikes Back? We're going to do a different movie, and Luke's going to go a different direction. Everybody'd be up in arms. But somehow with horror movies or some genres of movies, apparently this is totally fine, totally acceptable. I mean, I'm happy that they did it. But you have to admit, that's a little weird, right?
Well,
like, how many other franchises do this? Reset halfway through.
It's the only thing you can do when you've run your franchise into the fucking ground with stupidity, which is, this is actually, I think, the 4th or 5th Halloween timeline. So check it out. So there's the original movie, and then part 2, and then Halloween 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It's its own separate movie, like an anthology style thing. So that's the second timeline right there. Then you have...
So you start an anthology on the 3rd movie,
yes.
making absolutely no sense, but go ahead, yes.
Then you have Halloween 4, which is a direct sequel to Halloween 2, and then Halloween 5 and 6 are the continuation of that original plotline. Then you have Halloween H2O, which is a direct sequel to 1 and 2. It treats 1 and 2 as canon. Then you have Halloween Resurrection, which is a sequel in that timeline, that third timeline to Halloween H2O. Then Rob Zombie did 2 reboots, a reboot and a sequel to his reboot. That's its own timeline. And then now we get to this one.
What the fuck are you even saying right now? Like,
everything I said is 100% accurate.
That's a lot of information.
the last math class I took in college was differential calculus, and I feel like if you just explained that in front of the calculus classroom, you'd have a lot of people looking at you going, huh? What? What the fuck are you talking about?
What did you say, Jamie?
That's a lot of information. I kind of zoned out for a minute.
Yeah, but the good thing is you don't have to worry about it. You don't have any of that baggage. This is the only sequel to Halloween as far as you're concerned.
You explaining that to me made me think of the guy from It's Always Sunny with all of the diagrams.
Yes.
Yes.
No, you don't understand, guys. Halloween 1 and 2 are part of a series that gets continued in Halloween 7 and 12.
Yeah.
But number 3 connects to number 14 and H2O, which is part of a different...
You're almost...
Wow.
That was almost correct. What you started, the first 5 things you said were correct. So, yeah. But now that I've told you all that information, expel it from your mind because it does not matter.
None of it matters.
Yeah.
None of it matters anymore. And that's I do appreciate that.
I really want our promo picture for this to be that meme with Keith's face over the
Yeah, and I will say that I've never seen 2 and 3 and all the other ones due to your recommendation or lack thereof. But going from Halloween, the original 1978, to this one, this is fun. This is a good progression going from one to the other. So
yeah.
Hey, whatever. Maybe maybe your idea was a good idea, Keith. I mean, I don't know because I haven't seen 2 and 3 and Men in Tights and H2 and all that stuff.
All right. So, but yes, that's how you're supposed to treat it. And for people who haven't been in the franchise, it's good. It's like an actual, okay, we'll give you a good Halloween sequel instead of a bunch of crappy slashers. I like all of them because I like horror movies and slasher movies to different degrees. But this is actually a good movie, and I don't think any of the sequels I would probably say is a good movie. Halloween 3 is kind of a good movie, but that's only because it's doing its own thing. But yeah.
And how sad is that? Because the first movie is so good.
Yes.
But
masterpiece.
But that happens most of the time.
Yeah, people when some a visionary makes a film and then people start churning out sequels to it, you usually get diminishing returns. But directed by David Gordon Green and written by him and Danny McBride. Did you guys know that?
What?
No, I didn't know Danny McBride did this kind of stuff.
I did see it on there, and I was like, "What? That's got to be a different person." But now that you're saying it, I know that's insane.
Yeah, David Gordon Green directed Your Highness and Pineapple Express, and he's a producer on all of Danny McBride's TV shows and stuff. Danny McBride, apparently a huge Halloween fan, and they made the pitch for this movie and got it. So you got essentially a comedy duo that comes in once again. And comedy creators are good with horror, man. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's a timing thing.
I think it is a lot to do with the timing.
I think it's that comedy creators and actors, just comedians in general, are going to be better at doing a lot of other things because comedy draws on so many different understandings. Like, in order to be funny, you have to simulate sadness. You have to simulate anger. You have to do these other emotions that people look at as, well, you can do comedy or drama or this. Well, no, a good joke has good drama that builds up to the punchline. So, like, I don't know, you see it over and over again. You saw it with Jim Carrey. You saw it with even Stephen Carell. Like, you see a lot of people that can go from comedy. If they're really good at comedy and they're smart, they can draw that into other areas real easily, I think.
So this movie, here's the wow factor here, man. This movie had a $10 million budget, extremely small budget for a 2018 movie that looks this good, and it grossed $260 million worldwide.
That is pretty.
Well, they like it when you make them lots of money.
Yeah, people like it when you make a good movie.
Right.
Well, you would say that, but we just watched the Conjuring trilogy, so...
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
fair. There's no accounting for taste, I suppose.
Look, we got to go back a little bit. If you take the Warrens out of the Conjuring movies, they are pretty good, solid movies. It's just that they're about really shitty people that colored our taste.
Yeah.
That first one, yes, is a pretty good movie. But I don't want to ever talk about the Warrens again. Let's talk about someone we can all get behind, Michael Myers. Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis returning to reprise the role, though interestingly now not as his sister. That's what happened in the sequel, and then like the six everyone after. Laurie Strode, it turns out to be Michael's sister, and it explains his obsession with her. But that also kind of takes something away from Michael Myers, many people think, and I like that they kind of removed that in this and still managed to bring them face to face again.
Part of what makes Michael Myers so alluring as a bad guy is that he is mysterious, but he's also, all of his cards are on the table.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really anything that we don't know about Michael Myers. We don't know why he does the things he does, but his background, his upbringing, his actual, like, the original murder that he got tried for and all that stuff, none of that is a mystery. What does he look like? We've got his picture on file. We have all of his biostats on file. Yeah. He's just a normal person as far as we can tell. But, so I don't know. When you start adding more connections to him in the real world, there, that feels like fan servicey. I'm glad you didn't make me watch Halloween 2.
I actually did make you watch it before, but it is rather forgettable, so I can understand why you were probably just.
There you go.
Yeah, You've actually seen 5 Halloween movies, Kelly. You've seen
Jesus Christ.
You've seen part 2. You've seen all 3 of these sequels before that we watched when we were doing movie night before it became the podcast, and you've seen H2O. So yeah.
Look, Kelly's memory under the best circumstances is not good. So
yep, very true.
Just to clarify, Kelly, that's me, right?
Yeah.
You guys are okay. I'm gonna write that down.
But yeah, enough preamble. I am ready to talk about the good.
I thought the opening was really good with the podcasters going to the psych jail and having that build up there. I thought that was really tense, and it gave you enough of an exposition, and the podcasters are like, they're pretty enough that you want to root for them, but they're just pretentious enough that you don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your predilection towards, you have enough evidence to support that. And I thought it was a really good opening, and then it drew me in.
It smash cuts into that awesome inspired title sequence. That's essentially the same as the original. It's just the same pumpkin coming back to life from being rotten. I fucking love it. It's so good. The story behind that is like a couple of weeks before they're wrapping production and getting film in the can to send off, they go, oh shit, what are we doing for the title sequence? And they go, how about this? And they carve the pumpkin and they set it in a warehouse over a hot summer weekend with a time-lapse camera on it. And then they just reverse the footage. So it's literally a rotting pumpkin in reverse coming back to life. It speaks to the whole point of the movie, and it looks great, and it's got that John Carpenter score over it, and I fucking love it.
I agree. I loved the beginning. The immediate tension build. It was very Kubrickian. Like, it felt very Stanley Kubrick in design and nature. So that already gets, like the horror juices pumping, if you will.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just loved it.
No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong, life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong, life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. It's purely and simply evil.
Give us another one of your goods, Jamie.
Poor Laurie. Her life just sucks. It's so realistic. It's like, that's so what would happen to somebody that had that kind of trauma. Like, Obviously, you're not going to go through all that trauma and then go live a blessed life with no problems and not have any after effect of it. And I really enjoyed that they made it that realistic, but good God, poor Lori.
Yeah. I like how they showed the aftershocks of going through these major traumatic events.
Yep.
That they're showing that it has after effects of disabling your ability to deal with everyday relationships in an effective communicative way. It closes you off from the world. Everybody, us watching the horror movies, we want everybody to be this militant character like Jamie is in this. Or Lori, I'm sorry, but we don't realize that kind of character in our everyday lives would be insufferable and unmanageable. And
they give you that, yeah.
You wouldn't want to hang out with Laurie Strode.
Right.
She would not be a fun person. You're like, I would get to know her and we would be best friends and we'd fight against Michael Myers. Okay, good luck hanging out with that paranoid lady for 30 years.
Right.
Where she's constantly drinking and yelling and constantly fixing the guns around her and paranoid. That would be so tiresome and exhausting from a family member's point of view. And yeah, failed marriages, estranged daughter, that's I don't like that for her, but it
generational trauma.
Yes,
yeah, it roots the universe in realism.
The movie is about generational trauma. It is 3 generations of women are affected by this this horrible event that happened, and
that leads perfectly into my dissertation on Gilmore Girls and Halloween, how they're connected.
Oh, good God.
That could be a whole podcast on its own.
Hey, generational trauma is one of the major themes in Gilmore Girls. Anyways, we'll move on.
Why do you do this?
But yeah, you're right, because it does give you that. It gives you badass Lori with guns, but instead of just being that, it actually shows you what that means for this person's life, which is a lot of movies don't do that. They just stick with the badass part, and it's really kind of refreshing.
I'm sorry, now I'm starting to write up this fake paper in my head of how to connect to. I really enjoyed the editing. I thought the editing was fun and energetic. Like, some of these scenes were very lingering, and they had to be in order for us to really get the pensive nature of some of the characters and to build the tension. But the editing didn't let us linger in a boring way. It kept it interesting and fresh visually, even though nothing was happening a lot of times. So give it up for the editor. I didn't even look up who it is, but it was well done.
And while it did it in a new and fresh way, it did it in a way that is very reminiscent of the first movie. There were so many shots that were almost beat for beat the exact same as the original movie too. So it kind of held that balance really well.
And it does a lot of what I call tasteful callbacks, where a non-tasteful callback or just nostalgia bait will just show you the same thing. But this mixed it up. Like when Allison is in school and she looks outside, the shot in the original is Michael standing outside watching Laurie, but this time it's Laurie standing out there waiting for Allison. And, you connect that when you see it, but it has a different meaning and a different sort of thing to it. And then, again, the fight at the end when he throws Laurie off the roof and then he hears Allison enter the house and looks that way, then looks back, and they give that little stinger, and it's Laurie that's gone and missing off the lawn.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And it kind of symbolically relates to the fact that Laurie has become the monster. In a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah, she's hunting Michael at the end of this movie, literally.
Really through the full movie.
Monster. I think that's part of that dovetails into the generational trauma thing, because that trauma has turned her into the monster. She may not be the murderer that Michael Myers is, but she's in some ways every bit a monster as much as he is.
Right.
They both of their lives have been consumed and altered, and everybody around them's lives consumed and altered by their single-handed mission.
Yep. And that part where he looks at and she's on the lawn and he lingers for a second, like that's not supposed to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like the sort of like, oh, okay. Is Michael feeling fear for the first time? Like what's happening there?
And those kind of callbacks, they add to those that are really familiar with the original without ever taking anything away. We don't have to pause so that we can have some fan service for the fans. Yay, he said the thing. No, we don't have to do that. But there's a reason why they use those cuts in the first movie, and they fit in when they used them here. So even if you hadn't seen the first movie, you would still get the same impression from it. And it reminds me of like if ABBA came out with Mamma Mia 5 and they decided to not use any disco songs in their album. That would be wild. Like, why wouldn't you use the thing that you got famous for? That is why you have this. So John Carpenter, borrowing from John Carpenter's original work that was lauded and awarded, that makes 100% sense, as long as it fits the scene that you're putting it in. Don't throw happy disco into a sad scene.
The boy and his dad that are in the truck that come across the crashed bus with all the insane patients. The radio is playing that I Wish I Had You All Alone, Just the Two of Us song that Laurie is singing in the first movie when she first sees Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Little things peppered like that throughout. Just a nice little touch.
I really appreciated that they had a male child dancer, and it wasn't treated as an anomaly or anything like that. It was just natural that there was a male child dancer who wanted to dance more than anything else in the movie.
And he's like, sure, Dad, I'll go hunting with you. And but my real joy is dance. And his dad isn't like, being a bigot about it. He's like, really? He's like I can understand the dad asking like, really, that's what you like or whatever. But he seems to be thoughtful about it and supportive.
Right. I had that conversation with my dad when I was younger. He tried to take me hunting when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13 age. And I liked music. I liked acting and stuff like that much more than I enjoyed. And I had to have that conversation with him. And he ended up forcing me into a deal where the only way I'll let you be in band is if you're also in football. I'll let you be in choir if you're also on the wrestling team. That kind of stuff. It was stupid and toxic.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
So yeah, that scene definitely connected with me because I'm like, I remember having this conversation. It didn't go as well for me, but then again, I'm old, so it was back in the 1900s.
Man, the scene leading up to that is possibly my favorite and definitely one of my favorite scenes in the franchise. When Laurie is sitting in her car with her gun, watching Michael be transferred on the bus. And like, she's drinking, she's crying. Is the gun for her? Is the gun for Michael? Maybe it's both. You know what I mean? And like, she's sitting there, and there's the briefest shot where she like the music is crescendoing, and she's just screaming, and the shape is walking towards her car. You like see the silhouette of Michael, and that's just like that little scene is her whole story. That is. Laurie's whole story is constantly in this fight or flight with the ever lurking presence of Michael Myers, and it's fucking chef's kiss. I love that shot,
and it shows in a really small way too how alcoholism seeps into traumatic events. A lot of alcoholics that I met in recovery myself were people that didn't really have a lot of alcohol around them in their lives. They just used it as strictly a coping mechanism when they went through major traumatic events, and it just kind of stuck to their blood, and they got then next thing you know they're an alcoholic. So I could see that in her, that she didn't seem like she wanted to drink. It was just, I need to stop the screaming in my head, and this is one way to silence that voice. So don't drink, kids. I enjoyed the gender bent Bonnie and Clyde costume. Thought that was a nice little that they had a surprise, and you're wondering, oh God, these teenage kids, what's going to be their surprise? It's going to be something off color. And then you see it, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'd like these little nods to like a little bit more LGBT friendly, I mean, I don't know if I'd consider this a ding plus for the gay agenda, but it's normalized seeing these gender bent type ideas. And I don't know. In the theater community, that kind of shit is very common. So
it's always
I appreciate it.
It's always super fun for a Halloween costume to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, take a classic and twist it. Be Tom and Jerry if you've got a tall husband and a shorter wife, but have the shorter wife be Tom or whatever. So yeah.
What you got? You got some more for us, Jamie?
I am realizing, looking at my list now, that my goods stop very early in the movie, but I don't think that's indicative of the reality of the movie. Just want to get that out there.
No, I think that's because you were watching the movie.
It kind of, yeah, exactly. The shape in the bathroom, when the shape is stalking her in the bathroom, oh my gosh, just so terrifying. Because there's no way out. Anybody who's ever used a little bathroom
super
like that,
creepy.
Yeah, that you can't get past them. It's the whole space of a whole human, maybe two humans that can take up any of that open space there. There's no getting past him. He's going to get you.
And that whole thing, Michael fucks with people. Like, that's part of his thing, is he's essentially stuck in sort of a childlike state in some aspects, because he knows exactly where she is, but he takes the time to check every stall and then shake the door and then walk away for a second when she's like, someone's in here. It's like he builds the tension and fear, and then
the terror is part of the thrill for him.
And how fucking terrifying is it to, with some guy stick his hand over a stall and drops a bunch of freshly ripped out teeth. That is fucked up.
Right.
It's also like it's like he's been pent up for 40 years, right? And he's out, and it's time for him to have a little fun, and that's a terrifying idea.
Yes.
That is fun for him. And
well, it just shows how brutal he can be when he wants to be too. Like, we've seen him, like, if the only movie you've seen is the first movie, you see him isolate people that are kind of weak and vulnerable and take advantage of them when they're weak and vulnerable and kill them. This one, he's just walking through an open business, slaughtering people as he goes. There's nothing measured or sneaky about it really at all. Like, you get the impression that maybe people aren't noticing him, but it's not because he's trying to hide himself.
Yeah.
He literally grabs a mechanic and throws him on the floor of the auto body shop and just starts killing him in the middle of the business while it's open in the middle of the day. He's not hiding that at all.
Yep.
You know, and by the time he gets into the bathroom, that's why it's doubly terrifying, because he's not holding back. He's not hiding. He is just going to slaughter you in the most gruesome, fun way for him. And there's nowhere for you to go. And, you know, and just like anybody else, I think I'm watching that scene thinking there might be a way that maybe the guy gets killed and the girl gets out or something.
Right.
And no, it's exactly how you would expect it to go. And it was gruesome.
And again,
it sucked, but
a shout out to the filmmakers, because like you're saying, he's doing it in broad daylight. He's literally doing it in the background of the scenes you're watching. And if you're not watching the backgrounds, you don't see it, but it's there, just like it would be if you're walking around through the gas station that day.
I literally did not see the part where he's beating the mechanic to death until my like second viewing, because it's just blurred and in the background while she's asking where the bathroom is, but it's happening. And
but even if you don't see it, it doesn't ruin your experience because they show you it later. You just got caught into it. You got keyed into it a little bit earlier. So when you notice she's going to the bathroom, you know she's already in danger if you noticed it in the background. If not, you've got a feeling like there's danger, but you didn't witness anybody dying yet. So good movie making, because you didn't lose anything if you didn't, because most people probably didn't see it. And if you didn't see it, you're fine. You're still going to get everything in the movie. You're not going to lose a major plot point or anything. Just really good film story or storytelling, because it rewards the people that are a little bit more observant, but it doesn't penalize the people that aren't.
Part of that, like him being so open, is probably a little bit of obsession, because he's getting his face back at that point. That's the mission, right? I love they give you just enough, like when he's at the very beginning, when he holds up the mask and, you know, he says, I borrowed this from the DA's office. Michael gives just that slightest, ever so slightest, like look around, you know, like he's clocked it, he's seen it. And then when he pulls the mask out of the trunk, there's a quick, just little like caress that he does before he puts it on. And it's super fucking scary when they slams the trunk down and he's just standing there breathing with the mask on.
Because that's part of his mystery. We don't know why or how, but that mask is like what he wears when he kills. He doesn't like, it looks like he will kill without the mask, but he doesn't like it. That's almost Michael killing. And he Michael doesn't want to kill. Michael wants the mask to kill, kind of thing.
Right, and it's the aging on it is really cool. You know what I mean? Like it looks like a wrinkled old man. So it like
Bill Shatner is not doing well. That's all I'm going to say.
Looking a little pale there, buddy.
Bill Shatner is one of the few celebrities that has blocked me on Twitter.
Fantastic. What do you you got any more goods, Kelly?
I've got two more goods, and I'll just touch them real quick.
Dirty.
One is Chekhov's security system. It was so clear that the minutia of this security system were going to come into play somewhere in the movie, and it was almost like the filmmaker grabbing you by your chin and turning your head to look at the camera or look at the screen and going, "Okay, watch, see the button, see how the thing twists." See how they go downstairs? See downstairs, right? You see, okay, all right, you can go ahead and do what you got to do now. And it did. It came back big time, which good storytelling, but it was so obvious that I chuckled in a positive way. It wasn't a negative. The last thing that I put as good for me is when Laurie says to, I forget who she's talking to, maybe the cop, I forget, but she says something like, "I prayed every day that I would get the chance to finish off Michael. I prayed every day." Basically, she's saying, I prayed every day that he would get out so that I could fucking kill him. And the other man says to her, "That was a very dumb thing to pray for."
Yeah.
And I love that. And it shows you like the Ahab versus the whale kind of situation going on here. She's inviting more terror into her life just so that hopefully she can get the voices to stop. But to everybody else around her, they're going, "You dumbass, why are you inviting more of this into your life? No, just paddle the other direction. Go away and you'll never have to bother with this ever again." And the funny thing is that if the podcasters and Laurie both left this shit alone, none of this would have happened.
Yep.
Michael Myers would still be in fucking jail and nobody would have died and the podcasters would still be pretentious.
It kind of adds an extra layer of fear to us watching this, right? Like we can put ourselves in the podcaster's place, like relatable, you know. Yeah.
We'll wait until the other categories. That stuff.
For my last, well, I have two more goods. The first one is obviously the music because John Carpenter is back, executive producing this and providing the score with his son, and of course it's perfect. He also advised, a lot on the nature of Michael, which leads to this is a big one, but Michael in this movie, the shape is awesome and better than he's ever been since the first movie. It blows any performance from any of the sequels out of the water. That tracking shot where he first shows up in town on Halloween night and walks house to house, just killing people indiscriminately is such a that's like a mini movie in itself.
That single shot showed a lot of cohesion between the cast and crew, and how many people did you have to have? How many extras did you have to have moving? The camera movement was seamless. The actors all in time. Like, how many times did they have to reset that thing? And how long does it take to reset that? That was just brilliant filmmaking. And a lot of people watching it probably don't realize how fucking hard that would be. You have to have like 200 people all moving in choreographed, very precise ways, sounds only in certain areas. Like, well done.
And it's just, to me, that's what's terrifying about the whole Michael Myers thing is that he's not hiding. He's out in the open because it's Halloween. Everyone that walks past him, he's just another guy celebrating Halloween with his mask on.
If he didn't get caught, what would he do in his off season? Would he just hang out in an abandoned house and wait until Halloween Eve and then get back out?
We might find that out in some of these sequels here.
I would like to agree with you also on the music.
Yeah.
That I didn't write it down, but I did remember enjoying a lot of the music throughout. I thought it was modern, but still had some classic beats to it and stuff, and I just remembered really enjoying it. So yeah, right there with you.
I have the note because I liked how they mixed it up a little bit. Like in the beginning, the theme is deeper than the original and a little slowed down, so it's not exactly the same. Just to show that this is not exactly the same movie, and I enjoyed that.
The fucking music when he kills Oscar. First of all, Oscar, that's the guy who drunkenly hits on Allison after she has a fight with her boyfriend. He has that great little line when he's sitting on the lawn drunk and he sees Michael in the trees and thinks he's Mr. Elrod, and he says, "Have you ever really liked a girl but just couldn't have her?" It's like ding ding ding. Michael's like, "Yes, actually."
Yeah.
And you think that maybe there's going to be some incel pride between them, and
right.
He's going to let him go his own way, but no.
But the fucking music when he kills Oscar, to refresh memories, I'll post this after the pod. But it's fucking fantastic. And Allison sees him hanging on the gate, and this music swells, and she's running off screaming. The name of that track is The Shape Hunts Allison, and John Carpenter is a demented man. Because that's like so creepy sounding and perfect, but I love it. This is a good movie. I like this movie a lot. That's the end of my good.
That ain't this isn't the segment for I like this movie or not like this movie.
Fair.
But you know what it is time for, I think.
Oh, it would be time to talk about the bad.
Podcasters are the worst, huh?
Scummy.
God, they're so pretentious and they think they're actually like adding something to society when all they're doing is just ruffling a bunch of feathers, just causing a bunch of trouble.
Journalistic wannabes.
Yeah, they're not real reporters, not like the people at the New York Times. So yeah, that's my first bad, is the podcasters in this movie are made to be some of the most pretentious, unimportant, but think that they're very important people. Like, you notice, like, if they say,
end up actually making things worse than they could have been.
Oh yeah, making things much worse because of if they never took up podcasting, a lot of people's lives would have been saved. And I don't know if we should take this as a personal message or not, but yeah, the podcasters in this movie definitely were painted as a couple of people that you don't like. Because think about it, if you're like, I want to interview this person, what credential gives you the right to interview this mass murderer? I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, back off, man. I'm a podcaster.
Back off, man. I'm a podcaster. All right, somebody else give me a bad.
That could potentially be the title of the show.
My first bad is actually even before that. It's when the doctor's talking about, like, do you know how when you say that you spent all night dreaming about something, it has only been the last 45 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Except for if you're waking up like every hour and a half, then no, you really did spend the whole night dreaming about something. And usually when you have those dreams that you keep going back into, it's literally because you are waking back up and then drifting back off into sleep. And yeah, bad analogy.
The sheriff, man, he sucks. He's essentially doing the mayor from Jaws thing where the mental patients have escaped, multiple people are dead, and they know that Michael Myers is one of the escapees, and he's like, but what are we gonna do, man? Cancel Halloween? It's like, well, okay, maybe not,
yes.
but you could do literally anything, like something. They just wait for it to happen.
We're looking at it in a post-COVID world. What are we going to do? Cancel Halloween? Yes, you're going to cancel Halloween.
I don't know,
Why?
you guys. It
to
seems
save
real.
people's lives.
That seems really realistic. Like, let's pretend like the bad things aren't happening and keep going because they'll make people happy.
But yeah, no, I get it. It's just like fucking what a useless character. Yeah. He laughs and he's like, a bunch of crazies and Michael Myers running around. But what are we gonna do? He throws his hands up like, oh well.
But in that vein, like, what the hell is this town still doing Halloween for? Period. Like the trauma that the whole town has experienced. Like, the first time somebody showed up in a Michael Myers mask in that town, like, you know that people would be like freaking out and that person would probably end up in jail. And like, it's just you need to stop having Halloween in that town, period. Okay. People can travel to other towns if they want to.
Humans are fucked up though.
Yeah. Humans have short memory spans, I think, as you can clearly see by motions around to everything going on today.
Or they would lean into it. Like, if your little tiny town in Indiana or wherever the fuck this is, Illinois, is famous for a mass murder that happened 30 years ago, you better believe when it comes time for Halloween, everybody's dressing up like that. Like, you'd have to make a law that you can't dress up like Michael Myers, because I guarantee you half the seniors in high school would be wearing Michael Myers outfits to school the week before and stuff like that. Because people are kind of fucked up. Like, Twitter, if Twitter was alive during the Michael Myers incident, people would be making all kinds of fucked up dark humor jokes. Right wing, left wing, everybody would be doing that shit. So, like, I get what you're saying, Jamie, but I also know that it's kind of in human nature to completely mock the thing that traumatized your community, or commodify it in a way that, oh, we can get tourism over this. Let's put up a Michael Myers statue. I could see Haddonfield or whatever putting up a fucking Michael Myers statue in the center of town to try to draw in more tourism in one reality.
But there's also the third thing being that, one, it is 40 years ago, and one of the characters even says like 4 people died like by a knife. In today's world, that's there's a 30-person shooting at a school, and it's Wednesday, and then the next day it happens again, or you know what I mean? Like he makes that point.
Oh, did you hear what happened with Kylie Jenner? And then the next thing you know, that's off the news cycle. Nobody's talking about the 30 traumatized or hurt kids.
But
yeah.
It affects Laurie that way because she was built a bespoke house of horrors by Michael Myers with all her dead friends set up and posed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everyone else, that's something you read about in the newspaper, and after 10 years, like, oh yeah, that was crazy. But to her, it
was real.
Right.
It wasn't a funny story or a claim to fame or something to turn into a podcast.
Right.
Hat Dude, I have 2 notes and they kind of dovetail into each other. And this is all I have in my bad. So I'm just going to clear it now. It started with Hat Dude. Dave, I had to add later. He's a dumbass. And I started adding more and more things that he had done wrong to the list, like talking to Allison or whoever about the Michael Myers murders and saying, well, it could have been worse. Yeah, you say that to a murder victim's family more people could have died too. It could have been worse. Blowing up the pumpkins in people's Halloween decorations. What the fuck is wrong with you, kid? Like, let people decorate their houses and stuff like that. It makes things nicer. Just maybe I'm getting to be an old man, but I'm just like, well, you fucking punk teenager. But then that just kind of turned into the men in general in this entire movie are all either completely inept and stupid or evil, mean jerks. And I don't think there is a single decent guy
the sheriff,
overall in this entire movie. He's
not the sheriff, the
but he's completely
officer.
inept.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's completely inept. That's what I'm saying. Like the only good person, and I was right there with you, that he's the only good person I can see kind of, that he's got a decent moral center, but he's completely fucking inept. He takes the psychopath doctor that has flowing flame hair when he's looking at him going, I'll find a way to bring Michael Myers back to life. Okay, come with me, doctor. Here's some weapons just in case you need them. What an idiot. Yeah. But all the men in this movie were just kind of either horrible or dumbasses, one or the other. This was not, if you're looking for, I'd imagine the anti-feminists were probably railing against this movie when it came out. Look at this description of men, or maybe they're too dumb to realize how poorly men were portrayed.
It's the second one.
Second one, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that's the end of my bad.
All right, Jamie, what you got for bad?
My first bad that I wrote down in the bad column is, how are you going to make me hate Judy Greer? Like, this movie makes me hate her starting off, and she is one of my favorite actresses. I love seeing her in things, but this movie decided it was going to make me hate her to start with.
I could never hate.
See, I didn't hate her. Yeah, I was empathizing with her. I was looking at it like, I can see that you love your mom, but you can't put up with, and she doesn't know any better. So, like, I don't know. I could sympathize with her.
It took me. I got there eventually, but right in the beginning when she's just being a bitch, and you know, like, you don't know the whole backstory. Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, you can't make like that's.
But then by the end, when she comes around and her training kicks in and she's a team with her mom, I'm like,
hell
fuck yeah, Judy Greer. Yes, help Laurie kill Michael Myers. This is fucking wonderful. As a Judy Greer fan, I'm like, mwah, chef's kiss.
Yep. I know this is the bad column, but that scene is awesome where she's faking sobbing like her fear and that lures him out, and then she's like, gotcha.
Yep.
Pow. Yeah, it's just fucking great.
Fist pump in the air, Link from the Matrix going, yes! You know?
And like the threat of hurting that child, Julian, like, Julian was awesome, and I literally put, if they hurt Julian, we riot. Like, hurting Julian would have been the equivalent of killing the dog in this movie to me, so I'm glad that they didn't, because Julian is a kick-ass little kid, and I love him.
Was this movie kind of... This just occurred to me, and this is not necessarily a bad or ugly, but was this movie kind of like an Aliens to Alien? Like, because this movie feels like more of an action movie than Halloween, the original.
Yeah, I mean,
and we get to see the heroes fight back a little bit. The heroes actually have weapons and plans now, instead of just stumbling into a house of horrors like they did in the first one.
A little bit.
I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching a little too much, but this feels a little bit like the Alien to Aliens trilogy, or transition where they went more action. They gave the heroes more power and more agency.
Save that a little bit for the next one, maybe. You'll see what I'm talking about eventually.
I knew I was dying. And then I heard this voice like somebody whispering in my ear. Wake up, number 37. Wake up. Wake up. And then I woke up. What do you think that means?
When the doctor is with the police officer and the police officer is like telling everyone to calm down and quit crowding, and the doctor's like, I'm a doctor, go inside and lock your doors. It's like, fuck you, buddy, who the fuck asked you? It's so presumptuous. And like, I mean, I know it turns out to be that he's a crazy person, which is my next kind of bad. I didn't know if to put this in bad or good because I like the horror of it. But when the doctor,
to hit on your other note though, when you said something about he's a doctor and he's telling them to go in the house, I think the joke we made when we were watching it, like, get in the house. Who are you? I'm a podiatrist.
Yeah, right. Listen to what I say. I have authority.
I'm an oncologist. Get in your room. There's a murderer on the loose. It
is definitely uniquely terrifying when he kills the cop and pops up wearing the Michael Myers mask. But it's also so fucking bonkers and out of left field that my brain like twists in two different directions when it happens because I'm like uniquely horrified, but also like, what the fuck? So.
See, I saw it coming. Like,
make room for my patient, and he slams Michael Myers into the backseat with her. Like,
he was too unhinged in his, like, I don't know. I think he played it really well to give it realism. Like, it wasn't an out of left field twist. Like, he was this kind, benevolent man beforehand. He was a weirdo and had some real issues. So it didn't
but going that far and actually putting the mask on is just it's like, ugh, it really creeps me out. It really creeps me out.
Him popping up in the mask was terrifying.
Imagine what that mask smells like. Ugh.
Yes.
When they're in the basement and Michael's walking around up above and you can see him moving through the slats on the floor, and then they shoot him and he's standing on a tile floor. Like, no, you wouldn't see him. You wouldn't see anything. Yeah. That's tile on top of slat floor. There's no seeing it. So that bothered me.
Continuity error.
The plot floor.
Yeah.
It's exactly the consistency you need.
Right.
It's the elvish floor.
And then for somebody who's prepared to take him on in her house, like she built up this whole house of like defense. There's a lot of clutter and a lot of hiding spaces in that house for him. She didn't do the best job. She needs to like pare down and declutter so that he can't hide in literally every corner of the house and sometimes in the middle of the room.
Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign of her letting go of some of her paranoia over the years and leaning into the sentimentality of life, putting up decorations from her daughter and hers life, during the interim. And
there was a room full of messed up mannequins where parts of the mannequins were missing because she'd been shooting at them and attacking them.
Why is she collecting mannequins? That is a question I have for anybody in horror. Who is collecting all of these mannequins and why are you collecting?
You got more bad, Jamie? I have one final one.
Nope, those are the last of my bads.
Just they give her the line. She steps out of the shadows and says, "Happy Halloween, Michael," and then stabs him with a knife and throws him down the stairs. And it's just fan servicey cheese I could do without. And it hurts me slightly. There's a lot of good fan service that I applaud in this movie, but that taking the time to say "Happy Halloween, Michael" before, like, no, just stab him in the back of the neck and throw him down the fucking stairs. Don't tell him where you are.
And say it as you throw him down the stairs. Stab him, throw him, say it as he's falling.
Yeah. And that's it. That's my last bad. So that means that it's time to talk about the ugly.
I gotta start this one off. The line by the doctor, "He's property of the state and he must not be harmed."
Jesus.
Yeah. Imagine them saying that about any prisoner.
Yeah.
Imagine a cop in today's world hearing somebody say, he must not be harmed. The cops would look at each other and start laughing like, sure, buddy, we'll make sure we don't harm the homicidal maniac
who's killing
slaughtering
people
as he walks through town. Yeah. Everybody try talking to him first. We need to try diplomacy first, like Captain Picard would ask us to do.
Right.
It was so cheesy and it was so unbelievable. Like no. Nope.
I've only got one ugly, so
Me too. Mine feeds into your bad when Cameron, Allison's boyfriend, when he like fucking gaslights her so hard about the kiss and like
Oh
is
my
a
God,
complete
yes.
and utter asshole to her, like beyond like what would be accepted. I guess he's been drinking or whatever. They reveal that's not an excuse. And he throws her phone in the punch, which is convenient for the plot, but it's just like, what a fucking asshole. Like, you know, I thought he was okay, you know, at first, but just seeing that side of him is just like, wow, what a fucking dickhead.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like that's probably a lot of women that I've known. That's their dating experience, not just in high school.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
like
say.
a lot of men continue this kind of behavior.
I was just going to say that it didn't hit me as an ugly because it's so literally like what things happen where they'll seem normal, they'll seem fine until the minute you call them out on something and then they turn into little psychopaths.
That's it. That's my only ugly.
I have one other ugly, and it's a special effects ugly. When at the end where Michael reaches through the door and grabs Lori and starts bashing her head into the door, and they pull away for the wide shot, and it's very obviously one, a dummy that they're smashing the head into the door. Two, the dummy's feet aren't even on the ground. Like, that was just
Michael's just holding her up completely with his hand, and
that one was just so bad that it took me out of the moment because it was so egregiously bad.
What you got, Kel?
My only ugly is it's not even necessarily an ugly towards the movie because I really didn't find anything horribly ugly in my viewing of Halloween. It's more of just like a little bit of tiny nostalgia bait that I don't know about you all, but when I grew up, when Halloween happened, it kind of looked like these Halloween movies. Like the streets were just packed with people, families everywhere. It was a very community-based thing where there would literally be, if you picked a random street, there would be, 50, 60 people wandering around, a lot of them families with kids running back and forth. And this is what Halloween kind of used to be like. And I don't know, like, I'm not a kid, obviously. I don't have any kids, so I don't do trick-or-treating anymore. But if I drive around the neighborhoods on Halloween night, I don't see this happening anymore. And is it really a thing that happens anymore? Because it doesn't feel like it.
It's still like that in very affluent neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. Everybody heads to those neighborhoods.
Just the rich kids get this.
No, everybody goes to the rich kid neighborhoods.
Yeah.
To get the king-size candy bars. That's what it's... we used to do that in Detroit. We were close to Grosse Pointe. We used to drive over to Grosse Pointe and hit the fancier houses up for the full-size candy bars.
There's literally this street in Metairie, a town over from the New Orleans where I was raised, where it was like 2 blocks of the most audacious Halloween awesomeness. It's some of my fondest memories as a child, where it was just like this, just literally hundreds of people, and people have their own make-to haunted houses on their lawns, and that's still going on, and I love to see it.
It still is happening. It's just being condensed into certain neighborhoods, kind of like Christmas decorations.
It's being gentrified.
Because it used to be like, maybe it was just where I grew up in Detroit at the time or something, but it was kind of everywhere. When I was young, it felt like it was everywhere. Like I didn't have my parents drive me. I would just ride my bike and meet my friends, and we'd walk around neighborhoods, and we'd pick random neighborhoods, and they all kind of look like this. It was like a full community thing, and it feels like we kind of lost a little bit of that.
It's not everywhere anymore. It's in select places.
In select places, and if you buy the subscription for $9.99 a month, we'll let you know all the best Halloween places. For $14.99, we'll help you pick out your costume. All right, so those were our good, bad, and ugly thoughts about Halloween 2018. Now we're going to ask ourselves the 3 questions and the last question. The first question of which is, if we recast this entire movie with Muppets, but we kept one human actor, who would the human actor be?
There's two fantastic answers to this.
What, the Doctor?
Nope.
I mean, I feel like Laurie has to be one of them.
Yeah, Laurie is obviously one, especially in a confrontation with the Muppet Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. That sounds very funny to me.
And the podcaster?
The other answer is... No, the other answer is Michael.
Well, yeah.
Michael is the only human.
Yeah, I was going to say Michael Myers just slaughtering Muppets everywhere would be kind of funny. And you keep the soundtrack the same, everything. You keep a lot of their lines the same. The only problem then is who's going to be the shitty, like Kermit can't be in this movie then because there are no men. Well, I guess he could be the cop because he's kind of clueless.
Yeah, he's the cop and Miss Piggy is Laurie, obviously.
She's really pissed off that Kermit got killed.
Yeah.
You killed Miss
My Kermit!
If this movie had a promotional popcorn bucket, what would it look like?
The pumpkin. That's easy.
Yeah.
Or the mask.
The pumpkin's better. I would rather have the pumpkin than a non-functional mask.
But you're not reaching into a body cavity if you do the pumpkin, and that seems to be a common thread with all of our promotional popcorn buckets.
Just recently.
That you reach into a person's something.
Just since the Annabelle.
Has a face.
And who or what is your most valuable part? It could be a character, could be an actor, could be something esoteric like the set design or the color schemes. But what's your MVP for Halloween?
I'm giving it to Jamie Lee Curtis on this one. I think she does a phenomenal acting job showing all those layers of a severely traumatized person who's trying to break out of their shell while also being confronted once again with the thing that gave her trauma. I think she does very good in this one.
Wow.
I'm going to give it to, I think, John Carpenter. Whoever's idea it was to like bring this back to the end of the first Halloween movie and having the cojones to run with this and take it seriously from that point in time and kind of like retcon your own series to because you know that there's a very compelling story here. That was a great idea. That was brave. That was kind of stupid. And I hope that it landed on both feet because I think it worked out pretty well for everybody involved. And again, it tells a more compelling story. Seeing Laurie go through that struggle is much more interesting to me than connecting Laurie to Michael's lore in some other kind of supernatural. No, I don't need that. I want to see her dealing with what it's like 20 years afterwards.
That would be David Gordon Green's idea, and then John Carpenter gave his full, blessing and endorsement and was involved in the project. So
both of them, that combo, that the wherewithal, like him having the idea to do it, but then John Carpenter nodding and saying, "Yeah, let's do that." That's good on both of y'all because it was a good idea. What about you, Jamie?
I'm gonna go with the editors. I think that the movie was really well put together, and it's hard for me to come up with any one person that stood out as being remarkably better than anybody else. It is a really well done movie. And I'm going to go with the editors just because I think they did a great job of conveying a lot of the themes of the movie through the shots that they did.
I'm right there with you. I thought the edit was well done. So those are the three questions, and it really comes down to one question. The only question that matters is, when it comes to Halloween 2018, did you enjoy the movie, and would you give it a thumbs up?
You really want to do this? Here. Now, yes. Okay, let's do it!
I knew coming into this that I was going to give it a thumbs up, but when we were talking about the good, I realized that it's a super enthusiastic thumbs up because I literally want to go watch this movie again right now. Like, I just saw it and I want to watch it again just to see all the little things I might have missed. It is a really good movie. I really like it. So a very enthusiastic thumbs up.
Yeah, total thumbs up. I enjoyed the first movie, and I think this is a good sequel to it, and it explores concepts that are worth exploring, and I think the time gap actually serves the movie well and allows us to skip over the stuff that might seem mundane, but seeing the important aftermath of it. I think the editing was good, the music was good, the acting was good, plenty of pump your fist in the air moments, plenty of oh god, this is too gruesome to watch, I can't look at the screen but I can't look away moments. This is what, I mean, as a non-horror fan, this is what I think horror movies should be kind of like. And if more horror movies are like this, I enjoy this kind of movie. So maybe that means I'm a horror fan if these are the kind of movies that horror produces. What about you, Keith?
Yep. Enthusiastic thumbs up.
Perfect.
I think it's great. I think it's one of the best slasher movie sequels, if not the best slasher movie sequels, because slasher movies are all kind of exploitative and just a vehicle to show you, like, cool shit. Like, the entire Friday the 13th franchise is bad, but cool, if that makes sense. Like, I enjoy watching them. I don't have any, any fog in my mind about them, whether or not they're good movies. No, they're not good movies, but I enjoy them. This, I feel, is a well-crafted, good movie. It has more meat on its bones than just a killer doing gnarly kills. You have all the generational trauma stuff and Laurie stuff, which kind of makes it something more than just teens getting sliced up. I like it a lot. My personal Halloween headcanon is the first movie and this movie. I like the sequels that we're gonna watch, but I could chop them off, and I have a tight little duo, duology of films that do a good purpose and give me everything that I need out of the franchise. Thumbs up.
All right, so those were our thoughts on Halloween 2018. Whether you liked it, disliked it, did we miss something? These are just our thoughts, not yours. And what the hell do we know? We're just a group of pretentious podcasters that hopefully the difference between us and the podcasters in the movie is they probably have a few more listeners than we do, and we're not getting anybody killed. So,
and
maybe
hopefully we're not getting killed ourselves
to take.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, Halloween is coming up here right around the corner, so
Do you think we could survive Michael Myers?
Oh, hell no. I'd like to think I could, but I'm sure everybody thinks they can. It's like the average person in the United States thinks that they are an above average driver.
Right. Yeah.
And just knowing how math works, that doesn't
I'm just saying that
that's not how that works.
The online trend is, can you escape Jason? We could totally make it, can you escape Michael? Like, Michael doesn't run, but he does randomly appear places he shouldn't be able to appear.
He lurks. We'll have a spooky time until we see you next week, dear listener.
What are we doing next week?
We're doing...
Whose pick is it?
It's mine again. It's Halloween Kills is the sequel to this movie.
Yeah, remember Keith gets 3, and then we did a choice of 1 together.
Oh, right. I forgot about us giving Keith 3 in a row. We're watching more Halloween next week?
Yes, we are. More thrills.
Oh my God, more Halloween.
More kills. More pumpkins.
Well, until then, my name is Kelly.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Jamie, but not Jamie Lee Curtis.
Goodbye.
And you know what? And don't resurrect any old serial killers. If you're into true crime, don't go seeking out the murderer. Don't take them any trophies of their prior kind. What? You think you don't need to tell people this stuff, but we live in a strange world.
Anything for clicks.
Yeah, whatever. I'm out of here.
If you don't stop this, I'm going to call the police. You go ahead, call them!